friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, and the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, beautiful viewers. Today's reading, we're taking a look at something you believe in. So a belief or something you understand to be true that is limiting you. So it could certainly be something in your subconscious or something that you are consciously aware of, but it is not an objective truth that is helping you. So as we know, beliefs are neither false nor true. And if they hinder you, then that means there is a different way to take that information so that you can help flow energy in your life. So this could be specifically about yourself or an understanding you have in regards to your current situation or circumstance, if you're feeling stuck in any sort of way, or just understand something to be true and it is not the objective truth. All right, so this is a pick a card reading. We have 3 cards coming out quite readily. This is the Inner Child Fairy Tale Tarot cards. So take a look at the stones, take a look at the cards. We will flip them over if you're needing a little bit of guidance to lean on with your intuition here so that you know which pile is yours. For the first option, we have the rose quartz. Second option, we have the labradorite pointed wand, and the third option here we have the chakra pointed wand, and then we have these 3 cards which I will flip over in a minute. If you do know whichever pile you are resonating with already, that's absolutely fine. I will put the timestamp in the description box and in the pinned comment. It'll take you directly to your pick. And for those of you guys needing a little more guidance, let us reveal your options. Option number 1, we have the Mother Goose, which is the 3 major arcana, the Empress card coming through straight away. Beautiful. Mother Goose. And the rose quartz is option 1. Option 2, we have the 10 of hearts, which is the 10 of cups. All right. With the labradorite wand. For option 3, we have the 5 of swords. All right, with the chakra pointed wand. So I will leave the video running, beautiful people. Allow your intuition to guide you in. If you are drawn to more than one pile, that is absolutely fine. Just means there's multiple aspects of yourself or the situation in which you're needing to hear a message. So, as usual, use your intuition to what you will see, feel, or hear to confirm to you that this is indeed your message, your pile, and I will see you guys at your pick. See you soon. Hello, my beautiful pile 1. You picked the rose quartz and the Mother Goose, which is the Empress card for your pick. And we're looking at what do you believe to be true, either through your subconscious or consciously aware that your mind believes. So it could be a belief, an understanding of yourself or of a certain situation, of a certain circumstance that is not true. So it is not helping you to progress, or it is keeping you stuck in some way, or just limiting a growth aspect because it is not an objective truth. So we're going to take a look at what that could be. I'll put your rose quartz up here just because it has a tendency to roll away. So Mother Goose, Empress card, this is beautiful energy, Taurus energy. I will ask for you to use your intuition for what you will see, feel, or hear to confirm that this is indeed your message. So I pre-shuffle the oracle cards. I have 2 different piles. I'm going to lean on this one mostly to kind of see your understanding. And we might get a little bit of clarity as to what the actual truth is. And then in this pile, we'll see a little bit more into what the objective truth is in regards to yourself and your situation. So lots of cards to go through. Let us reveal what we have. We have Left Out with the Wolves, 35, or the number 8. We have the 7th house with balance, cooperation, and your partners. And this is the 7th house is all about relationships, marriage, contracts, business partners, equality, sharing, interpersonal style. So yeah, it says balance, cooperation, and your partner or slash partners. We have body. We have a hammer. We have a traffic light that says go. We have, ooh, a very graphic thingy here that's going to get me banned forever. Divine Feminine, raw and exposed in all her glory. There we go. Perfect. Sorry. And we have this bedroom scene. Always reminds me of a hotel. Lots of green. Very 70s vibe. Could be confirmation for you if you are a 70s wild child. So let's pull these ones, which is from the same Oracle pack, because I will place the cards in the center of these. So some of these words might be a little triggering, but we'll see what we get. So we have Father. Interesting. I'm going to put this like that. We have O. We have Victim. Did grab this one, but I'm feeling that. Okay. We have Squirrel. We have Spider. We have Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. And we have 40, the Humorist. The refreshing joy, exhilaration, and skills learned from creative play and laughter are their own reward and can help you solve problems. Okay, I want to read this squirrel energy, and then we'll get into pulling a bit of tarot before we get into your reading. I don't think there is a rhyme or reason to how this book is gathered, so I do believe squirrel is somewhere over here. Yes. Okay, so it says, meaning work-life balance, planning for the future. The fluffy-tailed squirrel is a busy body, constantly climbing, running around, exploring, and foraging for food. As the seasons begin to turn in the latter half of the year in the northern hemisphere, the active squirrel prepares for winter by burying nuts and seeds in the ground for later. Whenever squirrel energy is present, make no mistake, you are being asked to look ahead on your journey and plan accordingly. Do you have all of your ducks in a row, or is this case a sufficient supply of food stored for the long journey ahead? You need a plan, and a solid one. Depending on your personality, creating a plan may or may not feel daunting, but whatever you're trying to accomplish requires attention to detail and great foresight. Take the time to write out your plan step by step to have an adequate solution and some structure that will benefit you later. It's typically better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. You'll thank yourself later. Further reflection. The squirrel card may also bring to light the idea of a work-life balance, all work and no play. As they say, check in with yourself and see where your priorities are. Is there something that is sucking up too much of your time and attention? How can you free up some time, space, energy to give attention to the other things in your life? Remember that work is only one slice of the pie. Okay. Perfect. So, let me pull a little bit of tarot, and then we'll get into this energy before we flip your other oracles and the objective truth here. All right, Spirit, clear and concise message for pile 1 in regards to an understanding or a belief that they have regarding themselves or their current situation that is limiting to them, that they are unaware of the limitations of this belief, of this understanding. What is this all about, Spirit? Clear and concise for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Thank you so much, Spirit. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. And thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. All right, these are new tarot cards, so let's give it a really good shuffle. Although I did shuffle them quite well beforehand. Wow, okay, lots of cards coming out. We have strength. That is the number 8 here that came out. We have the Chariot. I'm being called to read them all in the upright. Cancer, Leo energy, Page of Wands. I don't know if you're able to see that. Perfect. We have the 10 of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Swords. And we have the 3 of Swords. And we have the Justice. This is Libra energy. Okay, pile 1. Just give me a second. Okay, so there is an energy of you wanting to create something, and I feel it is a passion that you have, and you might have had this for quite some time. But I feel like your energy is being poured into something else that isn't around this, so it's not allowing you to chase up or create this thing that you want. So there is an imbalance here, I feel, and I feel like intuitively you already know that you should be putting your energy towards what it is you're wanting to create, because you do have a vision. And it has to start somewhere. But I feel like rather than taking the initiative to start somewhere, or start over for some of you guys towards this, you're still engaged in something that isn't working for you. And I'm pretty sure I read for this energy before. And so what you're engaged in right now is something that you probably already built or you already dedicated yourself to. And so you might have a level of dedication to it. You might identify as this being part of who you are. You might feel as though if you were to pursue or shift your energy towards birthing this new creation or idea or lifestyle, whatever this new you is, would mean surrendering or giving up a piece of what you've built or understood to be who you are. You feel like you would be on your own. You feel like things would be very difficult. You feel like it would take so much time, dedication, commitment, overly by the time you set it all up, that is it even worth the reward, because it's going to take a lot of dedication. You feel like it's probably going to be more energy and effort than reward. It's going to take a lot of your time. It's going to take a lot of your effort, sweat equity in making this happen. I also feel like the more you're engaged in your old identity of self, so this could be career, or this could just be, yeah, this could very well be, it feels to me like somebody who's dedicating themselves to a lifestyle or a career that they've outgrown or they're no longer feeling the passion about, and they're sticking around here to, like I said, for because they might see the opposite as something that would be too strenuous. So you might be telling yourself that eventually you'll get going, or that whatever, you're kind of not doing it, you're just not taking that step. So I feel it comes with a heavy sadness here, because the more time spent spinning your wheels and not chasing up what you really desire, leaves you feeling kind of sad. This might also include you feel letting down someone or something you've built. So if you've built, a practice, maybe you are concerned that you'll let down your clients or your customers in some way that you've built up. If this is now shifting from an existing structured family system, then you might feel like you won't be, or like, yeah, like people might take this as you not caring, or that you just don't want to abandon anybody that you might have loved at some point in time, or still do love, just it's not aligned with your vision of yourself for this future next step. So you're sacrificing your happiness. And I think the understanding here is you might be telling yourself that you're better off maintaining this old system, structure, relationship, job, career, structure in your life because of all these reasons. And you're also telling yourself that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to get started to proactively work towards this thing that you want, because it's going to be too strenuous and too much effort, and it's going to take something you might not readily have, or will take too long to build up in some way, which I feel is you telling yourself this. There's a message coming through of spirituality. So I don't know if this is more an energy of aligning you to what is spiritually calling you, so it's more authentic to who you are today. I'm also picking up an energy of this being something that is more lighthearted than you think. It's not as strenuous. It won't be as challenging. It is something that is liberating and fun. But you might be painting it as something that isn't, so that you don't feel as guilty or bad about not pursuing. Because you're telling yourself that this is something that's going to be, I don't know, taking more than what you have, or yeah. I feel like in order to create this thing, it's not going to take this Saturn energy that I feel like you think, like willpower, dedication, hard work. Like, not saying it's just going to be super like take no effort at all, but I do feel like this is something that is very natural, comes very natural to you, that it almost is effortless. But I feel like your understanding is that it's not going to be effortless, that it's going to take some time, and that you're still waiting for the right moment in time in the future, potentially, to take action, that there will be a right timing, which I think is also a fib, because it's never going to be the right time, or it is always the right time in the present. You might also feel like you need some buy-in here from other people. And this could be established thing that you already have, because I do feel like you have already something that is established, either, like I said, an existing career or an existing relationship or family structure or some sort of established system. But I feel like you are dependent in a way here that I don't think you see. I think you feel you need a piece of that or part of that or some of that or the people involved in that to kind of support you in some way or prop you or bleed into this new thing that's going to help you ease into it. But I think that's also an untrue, because you're already whole and complete the way you are, and you are already in an energy without that system structure to take a step forward towards this thing that is all yours. So lots of energy coming through. I'm going to pull the other oracle cards here to see what comes through. But I will leave these on the side in case we need to. Yeah, it's like you need to take on a new role here, a new identity, put on a new hat, so to speak. So let's reveal these cards. So we have Passionate Heart, use your voice to wake up others, with the number 16. 16 is the Moon card, I believe, in the tarot, but no, that's the Tower. Passionate Heart, use your voice to wake up others, okay. Surrender to complete healing. Open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support our physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. That's a pink coming through. Eclipse, celebrate cycles. We have cooperation. In your quest to manifest the energy of love, you realize that every person and experience has value. Right now, stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come than that can be handled each moment. We have the Alchemist, balance, invention, and destruction. We have 74 with increase. You have successfully manifested something near and dear to your heart. It's also number 11 or number 2. We have Sun in Virgo, number 6. You reap what you sow, endeavor. Number 30, integration. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. And we have alchemy. Interesting, integration and alchemy, very similar cards here. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracle of transmutation. Okay, this is another balance card here. We saw balance here, and I was sensing an imbalance. We saw the Justice card in your reading, and just an energy of needing balance. So let's pull some tarot here. Spirit, for pile 1, what is the objective truth here? What are they needing to know in regards to what is the objective truth in regards to their belief, their situation, their understanding? What will help them to understand and remove this limitation? Thank you so much, spirits, for this message. We have Queen of Cups. Beautiful. There's that creative energy coming through. Queen of Cups is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. We have the Hierophant, Taurus energy, and that is also in the Empress, which you guys picked at the beginning of this reading. This beautiful Mother goose, laying golden eggs, birthing. Okay, so Hierophant, tradition, structure, higher learning. Could mean schooling, education, getting further knowledge. I do feel we're going to pull 2 more cards. 1, okay, 3 cards this time. So we have, just move these over slightly. We have the Ace of Cups, beautiful, emotional new beginning. We have the 7 of Pentacles, and we have the Moon. The Moon is Pisces energy. Okay. Pile 1. So it's showing here whatever phase of life, because life is all about phases. Sometimes phases are long lifetimes. Sometimes phases are very short seasons. Sometimes phases are just very minuscule blips on our timeline here on Earth. And I feel like your experience and whatever you are engaged with in regards to what we were talking about has come to an end. But your physical body and your physical presence and your physical energy is being poured into something that has outstayed its welcome. And your heart, your passion, your desire is calling to you to move towards this new creation, to immerse yourself in whatever it takes in this new understanding, this spiritual growth, because it's going to bring a whole new level to you. I feel like you have some creative talent here, and it could be using your intuition, or it could just be your creative side, such as painting, singing, dancing, writing, journaling, whatever creative expression you have as an artist. Very magical, and it's coming from a heart space that I feel requires attention right now. And it does require you to understand that as you express yourself through this, you do further healing and you do further growth on yourself spiritually, physically, emotionally, and all ways of being. It's like a whole new rebirth. And I feel also that this might come with meeting new soul family. This might come with making new, oh geez, I'm going to be banned. New people, and that might be scary. New systems, new structures, new understandings. So I feel Spirit is showing something here, that your disappointment, because we saw the 3 of Swords, your sadness, your everyday burden of reliving something that isn't growing is being overshadowed here. It's with this reap what you sow, it's kind of like your outer world is reflecting what's going on in your inner world. So as you continuously engage and pour energy into something that you're doing, you're not going to be pulling the results here of what you could when you shift your energy towards something that actually is going to be reflective of rewards that you want to see in your life. Because I feel like you want certain satisfaction, you want a certain outcome, you want to attain something specific, and you cannot attain something specific that you're desiring if you've been continuously trying to plow the same field or plant the same seeds expecting a different plant to blossom in some way. So I feel like you're going back to the same well, expecting something else or something different, and it's not coming. So you might be telling yourself that it will come, or that maybe eventually you'll get that one seed, or that maybe you'll be okay with the fruit that's being blossomed again for the millionth time, or that there's nothing more that needs to be explored and that you can settle here and this will be fine, and all these things that is not what your soul wants, is not true. There is a life of reward for you specifically, and it is made specifically for you. And you become an expert in that field. You become the go-to guru of that field. You become so knowledgeable about what this is because of your passion to immerse yourself in this is exponential, and it is so effortless. Like I said, it's not something that is going to, I don't know, like be as difficult as you're making it seem. So I feel like the message here is telling you, now is the time. Pile 1, now is the time. And to bring your life into balance, it's going to take you to jump into this. And you can slowly integrate into this. But I feel like maybe your understanding here of bringing the same people or something about your existing situation that cannot come along for a reason. And you'll know if it's someone or something or a thing that doesn't mesh with this new world, then it is okay to slowly drop those things gradually. And it is also okay to slowly integrate parts of this new you, new life, new understanding by taking little steps. Because I think the little steps are going to amount to a lot. And before you know it, you're completely submersed in this new world. So I think Spirit is showing where you feel, yeah, completely like stuck in some way, but there's a need to take action. There's a need to take a first step. There's a need to bring what you can and surrender to what needs to go away because it's no longer serving your purpose here. So envision what you want to see yourself as, who you want to be in the future. And if a part of your now existing life does not belong the way it is, slowly detach, release, and move towards what is more aligned with that vision. So you have to deconstruct parts of yourself. And maybe you've been in the process of kind of doing it, but I feel like there is a fear in detaching fully from certain things or people, especially the ones we're really attached to. And that's going to be the hardest thing. But I feel like when you bring in more of this new energy, it becomes easier for you to detach from the old energy. But at a certain point, there's no more space in ourselves if we're really attached to an old identity or thing. So in order to make space for new, we have to learn to release ourselves from an attachment or an understanding of who we claim to be a part of us that is no longer us or has never really been us, because we are whole, complete without that thing. So you're really yearning for this passion on the inside, and you're watering it down, or you're denying yourself or telling yourself something like it's not that big a deal or not that great of a thing that's going to make a biggest impact in your life. And that's further from the truth. It is going to impact your life significantly. It is something your soul, your heart is desire, is wanting. It is bringing passion, life, experience, growth, ascension, spiritual, like I said, physical, emotional growth for you. So you're limited right now. You're capped off. And I'm kind of getting that if you guys are gardeners, although I'm not a gardener in any which way, but I do know because my parents used to do a lot of gardening. When you plant the same seed in the same soil in the same spot for many years, that soil starts to not be able to be as rich, and the plant doesn't flourish as well. So there's a need to turn your crop, turn your soil, spice things up, move things around, shake things up in order for things to flourish. So what might have once been flourishing and provided value, maintaining the same routine, is now producing a watered down version of that thing, and you're now the recipient of that watered down thing, or that plant that's lacking the vigor, the energy, that beautiful potential that the plant could have, because now you're settling for the watered down version, or the, I don't know, the runt of the litter. Okay, so this is your message. I'm going to pull some advice. I mean, the advice is take the steps and integrate parts of this, but just kind of like final words or like guidance here for you that might be coming straight from spirit. Oops, I got cards. Just give me a second. These cards are hard to shuffle. All right. So I did see the Three of Swords again. Okay. Let's ask Spirit for final words here. Can we get final words for pile 1 in regards to guidance? What do they need to know? What's going to help them? Anything that is unclear or stuck in their mind that they're needing to hear right here, right now, that's going to help them take that first step. What are they needing to know? Spirit, thank you. Is that Al Pacino? It is. The Emperor. Oh my goodness. Pile 1, the Emperor. Take action. You are the captain of your ship. That's all about taking action, being empowered to move, making decisions, not waiting around. It's not going to happen unless you make things happen. That is Aries energy. That is leadership, being the boss, being the leader of your own life. The Star. Our hope, our wish, our desire, making it come true. This is our long-term vision of what we want. And sometimes we believe the star is some far distant thing that can't be attained, because it is a hope that we look towards as something that is unattainable in some way. But Spirit is saying your wish, your hope, your desire is attainable. You just have to go after it. You have to empower yourself to do something here. And I can't help but notice Al Pacino and his gun. I don't think that's his little friend, because his say hello to my little friend is a lot bigger. But we have the hammer and we have the gun, which is all about action, force, doing something. Okay, when we want to make something happen, we make it happen. You know, if you got to make a hole in the wall, you take a hammer, you make a hole in the wall. If you want to, I don't know, like make something happen, you have to demand it in some sort of way and take action. So I don't mean you got to threaten anybody, but I do feel like it's picking up whatever tools necessary. So we see the Hierophant. So that means if they're schooling, then that means pick up books, you know, or YouTube. I mean, there's nothing that can't be seen on YouTube here. Get educated about what it's going to take if it's, you know, starting a business. And if anybody here is looking at an online business, I am more than willing to help you in any way I can, as I have that experience and have helped small business websites in their startups. If it's something I can help you with, let me know. But yeah, like whatever you're needing to do here, start doing it, is what this message is about. Yeah, the Fool. And I was going to say, I'm surprised I didn't see the Fool in the tarot, because the Fool is taking that leap of faith. And here we have Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest, run. So just do it. And I feel like just moving even in that direction, maybe not knowing where you're going, is still okay. It's still okay because it's still movement and you're still going towards that, and things will come forward and you'll identify what's for you, what's not. And if it's aligned, it's aligned. If it's not, then you'll learn and you'll start to weed out this process. But I feel like unless you take that leap, that chance, and that, that action, then you'll be kind of stagnant and stuck repeating old patterns and lifestyles. So you guys are certainly capable here, okay, of making this happen. And this is beautiful because I feel like with the major arcana, Spirit is really saying this is in the stars for you. This is all the universe intervening here with things that are aligned for your future. We have 5 major arcana cards here, okay? So this is the universe saying this is your calling. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And this is why you feel a pull towards this and feel that 3 of Swords when you're not in line with what you're supposed to be doing, where you feel kind of tired of putting an energy into dead-end things and investing yourself in areas where you're wanting a certain reward and it's not coming. All right, so pile 1, I hope this helped you guys, and I love you very much. If you were interested in another reading or pile, then you can go check out that pile. If not, I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile 2. You picked the labradorite, pointed wand, and the 10 of Cups from the Inner Child Fairy Tale Tarot. Let us take a look at your cards. I have pre-shuffled oracle cards. I've not looked at them. And what I asked Spirit was to take a look at a belief you have or an understanding you might have of something in your life right now. So it could be a way of being or just a belief about self that is limiting you, or it could be a misunderstanding you have about a certain person, situation, circumstance that is not allowing there to have movement. So we'll look at what your belief or understanding is, and then we'll look at what the objective truth is. So we know that beliefs are neither true or false. They are just whether they are limiting us or how they are getting in the way of what, our potential is all about how we carry that belief. So let's look at what this could be. I ask that you use your intuition to what you will see, feel, or hear to confirm that indeed this is your pile. Okay, so let's take a look. So I have 2 piles, and one is mostly here what you understand to be true, or this belief or understanding. Could be subconsciously, okay, but it is an energy that you're encompassing here, and we might get aspects of what is the truth. And in this pile, it is more of more objective truths here, okay, or more clarity in regards to what the actual understanding should be or can be in order to allow there to be movement in whatever situation or growth as an individual. So we have Alchemy 66, or the number 12, also the number 3. Alchemy, that is the Temperance card. We have the Signs card of Sagittarius. It says your highest ideals, the rules of, and get it out to the world and. So Sagittarius is certainly about taking action. Fiery energy here coming through. Your highest ideals, the rules of, and get it out to the world and. Okay. We have Defense. So we have these oracle cards. These could be triggering words here, okay? So just a trigger warning. We have Holding On, and we have Hope. And then we have these oracle cards, and I'm going to put them in the center here of these words. We have this guy kind of curled in the corner here in the fetal position. Looks like he's wearing a business suit. We'll put them in the Holding On. And then we have 2 people sitting in a park bench, 2 elderly people, a couple. I'll put that in Hope. And here we have, looks like a crossroads, and 2 people kind of going their own separate way in blue robes. Looks like it could be the same person even. 2 different ways. Okay. We have hermit crab. And we have snake. And we have trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. That's what this hermit crab's about, believe it or not. Very hermit. And we have the Sybil, number 5. Could be the Sybil. Think twice before sharing what you know with anyone except those who you know without question are ready to hear it. Wow. Think twice before sharing what you know with anyone except those who you know without question are ready to hear it. Okay. And let's pull some tarot before we look at your other oracles to gain more clarity here as to what your understanding or your belief is here. This limited belief you might be carrying or understanding that you're carrying. So Spirit, clear and concise message for pile 2. What is this understanding, this belief, either subconsciously or consciously, that is limiting pile number 2 from what they need to do, who they need to become? What is this understanding they have? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2, Spirit. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. I'm truly blessed. All right. So these are new tarot cards. I'm going to give them a really good shuffle. Okay, we have the 5 of Swords. And, oops, we have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have the Ace of Cups. Just making sure you can see. Clear and concise message, Spirit, for pile number 2. We have the Chariot, that's Cancer energy, forward movement, integrating parts of ourselves in order to get moving. Perfect for this type of reading. We have the 8 of Cups. And one more card, Spirit. We have the Queen of Swords. Okay. Well, I don't know if that's a boy or girl, but if you're a girl, look out. YouTube, look out. Okay, so your message is coming through quite clearly, and I feel I've read a similar, again, energy here for you guys not too long ago. So welcome back. You could certainly still be new and resonating here, but I do feel like this message came through in a reading I did not too long ago. Pile 2. I feel like you could have happiness. 10 of Hearts. Like, there's nothing happier than a 10 of Hearts, okay? This is a 10 of Cups. This is ultimate emotional fulfillment. Complete happiness. And I feel you're getting in your own way. And you're getting in your own way because you're hanging on to something. You're defensive, you're hanging on, you're not making the decision here to do what you have to do to let go of something, someone, some situation in your lifestyle here. And it is holding you back. But I feel you do know this already, but you're still not allowing yourself to detach. So there is a message here that And I don't know necessarily if this resonates, so we'll see as we keep pulling more. But if you're hanging on to a person with a hope that they are going to be your long-term person here in some way, but nothing, no signs are pointing to movement, no signs are pointing to commitment and structure and movement in a way that is positive, then there is time to lay a boundary. There's time to get honest with self. There's time to get clear about self. There is time to detach and emotionally fill your own cup and lay a boundary and walk away from this person's situation. If you are not hanging on to a person, then what Spirit is showing here is that you are hanging on to some way of being, and you're getting in your own way with the Five of Swords and defense by a way of life or something you are doing to detach or push away or keep out love from coming in your life, which I feel is something that is long-term and very, very, very fulfilling for you. So either side you fall on, what Spirit is showing here is you're swimming against the grain in some way, which is opposite of getting this 10 of Hearts, because I feel like this 10 of Cups is for either side you fall on, which is ultimate emotional fulfillment, complete and utter fulfillment. But we have to detach and let go of our situation, our circumstance, of defenses, of being Five of Swords, getting in our own way, self-sabotage. And if we're not being destructive to self and self-sabotaging and defensive, then someone that we're trying to hang on to and make happen is not allowing us to enjoy this union in some way. So we have to move forward to find our 10 of Cups elsewhere. All right. And I know it's difficult because if we are hanging on to hope, then we want this person, this idea of this connection to make happen. And so it becomes very difficult. So what Spirit is showing here is there's a need to go inwards and really, really trust what your inner voice is saying about your situation and your circumstance, because in there is the voice, and your intuition is the quiet voice. The intuition isn't a question mark. It's not indecisive. The intuition is a statement. So when you hear it, it knows. It doesn't question. It isn't give you more doubt. It is very quiet. If you have a loud voice, if you have a lot of questions, that is fear. So there's a need to understand the difference between intuition and fear, and also your mind, because your mind usually is thoughts that come through ego, which is shadow. So when we're in the ego, when we're in shadow, we think our mind is telling us one thing, but it's stemming from fears. Hence, it results in our actions. So this Hermit Crab, I feel, is resonating for the person here who, because there are the two people I feel here, is for whoever is hanging on to a self-sabotage, a defensive way of being. I feel like it's a busybody. So there's a busybody here of doing things, keeping busy, socializing, networking, busybody, and there's a need to completely detach and self-introspect, completely detach and ask self, what is of value for me? What do I want? And be completely honest and follow that inner voice and that guidance, because it is very clear, it is very certain, and it is in there, but it's shoved way down. This will come with a lot of healing. This will come with a lot of growth and spirituality. This will come with shedding our skin completely, and we become somebody different. And who we become is someone ascended. Who we become is someone healed. We need to heal this way rather than covering up by distractions and whatever. I feel like there's a lot of distraction here, okay? This could be partying, substances, even work, or just unhealthy ways of trying to distract ourselves. because we're not allowing ourselves to shed an old piece of our life to plant for our long-term happiness, to be more grounded, to be more certain, to not be so thrown about by life. And if there's parts of ourselves that we do not like, we don't need to run away. We integrate those parts of us once we become familiar with what that is into who we are, so we can move forward in life in a positive and successful, victorious way. We learn how to integrate those sides of us we don't like instead of sabotaging and being destructive. And it manifests differently now in a positive way. And for those of you guys resonating with an energy here of hanging on to someone or an idea of a person that's going to be it but has not happened, there's a need to listen to your intuition as well. I don't feel there is so much the distraction of self-sabotage in the way I described this first scenario, but I do feel there is a self-sacrificing bit of delusion here in not accepting what is happening in front of you in some way, to detach, let go, and make the decision to fully heal, make the decision to release, make the decision to step into this next chapter of your spirituality, which is, if you've been communicating an absolute truth to this person, to this situation, and it has not amounted to anything different, and if you are dissatisfied, if you're emotionally feeling stuck, it is time for you to move away. Get clear, put boundaries, get certain, understand that there is happiness for you and that you can get closer to your 10 of hearts, 10 of cups. And that begins by giving yourself the freedom, the love to detach. Know your self-worth. Give yourself this new beginning in self-acceptance. But it can't be by hanging on to something that is not working, because it's imbalanced right now. So you need to explore outside of this thing, outside of this connection, this person, or this connection. And you might be defensive because the outside world might not look great, but this situation is not great. So you almost have to jump into the unknown and just trust in spirit that there is someone, something better out here to be experienced that is more aligned with you, what you need for the long term, that's more grounded, that's more solid. So there's a need to walk away from the unknown that you're being cast with here. Okay, so I'm going to pull the other oracle cards to give us a look at more, because it's going to give us clarity as to what the objective truth is here. All right, so Spirit, thank you for that. Can we take a look at this objective truth and a little bit more insight as to what pile 2 believes and what is the objective truth that's going to help them move out of this stuckness? So we have betrayed heart, risk opening up to life and love, number 10. Okay. We have surrender your attachments to results. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen and then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. I'm feeling both of those energies here. I'm feeling the energy of the person who is too afraid to allow themselves to experience something by opening heart and allowing life to come in and love to come in, because there is a fear. I mean, in both aspects, there is a fear. And then I feel like in the second scenario, whoever's hanging on to a certain relationship or person needs to understand they've tried to make things happen as best they can. And now it's time to move on and let go and not hang on to an idea of hope of something grand happening with this situation or person that has not yet been fulfilled. So both parties are hanging on too tightly to something. Okay? We have boundaries. Put a ring around yourself and your energies. So definitely we're seeing that with the Queen of Swords. If you are hanging on to someone here, there's a need to put a boundary around yourself, detach completely, and understand that boundaries do not mean there is a lack of love. Boundary means there is self-love. There is recognition here to love self enough to put a boundary around what you're protecting. Joy, you delight in the love of life and bring a spirit of fun to all that you do. We have grief. Tears are what happens when the ice in the heart melts. The Spy Master, knowledge and distrust. We have a crow and a key here. An open hand. We have 22 with creative projects. It is time to get things done. Make your creative projects a priority now. Also the number 4. 4 is about stability. It's also the 4th house is about home, roots, family, emotions. We have reevaluate relationships, justice and fair play, eclipse in Libra, number 31, also the number 4 with rebalancing. We have Sun in Aquarius with 11, number 2. 2 is all about choice. That was that crossroads we were seeing. Readiness for change, opportunity. And we have Magic, 31, also the number 4. And it says, the frequency of magic supports our intrinsic ability to grow and expand beyond this moment, to move towards possibilities and expressions that are as grand and profound as we can imagine. All that is required is our belief in the manifestation. Okay. So let us pull some tarot as well here to gain further clarity here. What is the objective truth then for pile number 2? So we have the King of Swords. This is air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius coming out again. We have the Page of Swords with the 8 of Wands. We have the 7 of Swords. We have the 8 of Pentacles, and then we have the Hierophant coming out. Hierophant is Taurus energy. Okay, so what's your limiting belief? Your limiting belief, because I got the 2 camps here, and I feel them in waves. So there is the energy here of somebody who is too afraid to open up their heart, to take a risk on a relationship, on opening up to love, allowing their heart to feel. So they're in their mind and they are detached, and they might have a very strong boundary, not allowing people in, and they're self-sabotaging, and they're in a lot of pain, and they might realize that once they face this pain, it's all going to come out in a very painful way. But what I'm seeing here is that Spirit is showing that it doesn't matter how much shoving down we're doing or distracting we're doing, this pain's going to find a way to eventually melt one way or another. And so when we are not actively, proactively engaged in this, and it's happening kind of in an organic way, it becomes more painful than it needs to be here. So that energy is missing out on actual joy, real love, real joy, realness, the magic of love, the magic of relationship, the magic of creation, the magic of the purpose, why we're here in life. The opportunity is in front of you. But I feel like there is distrust, and there's distrust in self, there's distrust in the process, there's a distrust here in allowing oneself to receive love. And we could think that we love ourselves and that we're deserving of it, but in the subconscious, our actions are showing otherwise. And that's what this card is all about, because we might think that we love self. And that is when we start looking at questioning our actions, are our actions aligned with this understanding and this greater truth? What is the root belief here? And I feel the root belief that is resulting in all of the detachment and boundaries and pushing away and difficulty is stemmed from pain, stemmed from an experience, stemmed from something that needs healing. It won't allow for us to progress. It won't allow for us to be open. It won't allow for us to experience certain things in life. And it will take a lot of work, but it then aligns with a greater purpose. It then gives our meaning in life. It then allows us to learn more about ourselves and who we are as individuals, and aligns us with a greater value system, structure, spirituality. It helps us ascend. And it also opens the door to who we're supposed to be, because we start to get inspired by things in life around us. So our true creative passions come out through opening that heart space. We're no longer stuck in a superficial world of detached reality of whatever substance distractions and repeat things that are very surface, that aren't experienced to the core of who we are. So we've lived life in sort of a superficial way because of our fear to absorb in the energy of love and experience the magic that connection and creation could give us. So we're knee-jerk reacting by pushing away happiness for ourselves, by pushing away connection, by pushing away others, by self-sabotage. And in the second camp, we're so attached to an idea and a purpose of thinking that the only way we can get happiness is with that person or that connection or that understanding. So our understanding is that that is the only way, and that's very limiting. And so as we do this, we put out a limiting belief in the world that we're not able to find what we want, because we're repeating that same mindset of the only place we can find our true 10 of cups or true happiness is by staying in a situation that is not producing. So we're self-sacrificing, we're lying to self. We're not engaged in proactively putting our energy towards what is of greater purpose. We need to rebalance. We need to reevaluate this relationship in a very honest way and look at it logically, not from a heart space so much as from our understanding of what's happening in front of us, so that we can put the proper boundaries in place. And we might have to experience deep grief over disconnecting from that idea that we painted of that person or that situation being it. But know that it is not real anyway. It is your attachment to the idea of that person, the idea of that connection or that relationship that you're really grieving, and that is made from you. So it's all in you still. It's not external to you. So to help you process, you might want to focus on your creative pursuits. To help you focus, you might want to shift your energy towards what can you do right now to allow yourself to get more in line with your own energy and not to this person or the situation, by readjusting, by focusing on things here that will allow there to be an outlet for your creativity. And trust that by you doing this, energy will shift, and trust that love is coming for you, and trust that you are ready for this opportunity to come in, and that change will happen by doing this. And that when you're forced to an outcome or hanging on to an outcome, you're limiting what could come to you, and it doesn't allow there to be movement, doesn't allow there to be a shift. And you are ready for this to come into your life, but your actions are keeping you stuck. So in both aspects, you guys have the key to your future. And I feel like both parties here are dissatisfied, and they could be lying to self, thinking they are happy because they could tell themselves that all they want. And if they haven't experienced the other side, then they do not know what happiness is. And Spirit is saying that happiness is meant for all of us to experience, and it comes with this great, deep, joyful gratitude, this magic, this deep feeling here that I feel like both sides are sacrificing in some way, or both people, depending which side you fall on, to hang on to an idea of something that isn't even remotely close to what they could be experiencing in this lifetime, which also shuts the door to their purpose, or what they're supposed to create in this world. Because I feel the most important message coming through here is that there is something to be created that is being blocked off by you maintaining that same idea that you're hanging on to, that connecting is bad, or that I'm okay with keeping my heart kind of closed off and not exploring this pain further, so that I can enjoy myself and my partner and my growth and my ascension, so I can create magic in this world. So I'm limiting myself, or I'm limiting myself in a connection here with somebody who is keeping me in an energy where I'm not learning about who I am authentically, to experience a deeper sense of love of self, a true magic. Because there's so much more possibility outside of this that we can't even imagine. We just have to believe that it's out there for us. But in either case, I feel there is a lot of pain, and it's also going to take some work. It is going to take some work and dedication and staying focused to it. But it starts with being curious and really asking ourselves true questions, honest questions we might not want the answers to, but really being logical about it, and then doing the work and not lying to self, not shoving things down. And this might require a lot of communication, being very, very honest with self, communicating with others, laying boundaries, instead of keeping things in, because I feel things are stuck. So this is a stuckness in self, and this is also a stuckness in a connection of sorts. So either you're in an existing relationship here that is outstayed its course, and you're just kind of trying to make it work, or whatever you're doing here with that connection that isn't working, because you believe you're undeserving in some way when you strip it all away. But you really need to strip it all away to see the root of why you're doing what you're doing. And that would require asking yourself a lot of questions and looking at your own actions as the observer. And then dismantling your beliefs, dismantling your preconceived idea of why you did what you did. Because it may not be true. So replace that with a belief system structure that is opposite but truthful to you, that will align you towards this new direction. So for example, it should be something you believe, right? Like if you believe you are unhappy in some way here, and you can get more for yourself, then tell yourself that there is something better than what I'm doing, or that this action that I'm doing that isn't resulting in what I want. And you'll start to really feel it and believe it. So spirits, can we get some guidance, some clarity, any information that will help pile number 2 get unstuck? Anything further that I might not be, I might be missing, have not communicated that's going to allow pile 2 to understand what they need to do here. Okay. So we have the 10 of coins. Okay. Long term, your legacy, stability. I always see this too as like a lottery win. This is like the ultimate windfall here. So you had the 10 of cups and now we're seeing the 10 of pentacles. I feel like there is a future here for you to have it all, like in a physical way and in an emotional way. Pile number 2, like you have this potential here that's untapped. It's not being allowed to manifest here because of these limiting beliefs or your actions in some way. Temperance. This is finding the balance. And I feel like you can't control how your environment shows up. You can only control self. So I feel like you're needing to show up in a way here that is going to be aligned with the potential of what you want, not towards the result of something that you've experienced the same results over and over again. That's not allowing there to be movement. 6 of coins, balance, give and take. This is also another balance card. Equal reciprocity. So I feel like if we're feeding a situation that is dead end, we continue to reflect the same thing back to us. But I feel like if we are pouring in our energy towards a vision or a thing here that is going to amount to something, it will have the potential to then feed us back and reflect back to us this potential. But we have to identify where we're pouring our energy, where we're giving of ourselves, of our time, of our effort. The Chariots. So I believe you guys had the Chariot in your first tarot cards here, and the Chariot is all about forward movement. And in order to move forward and be victorious, we have to take parts of ourselves that we don't want to see, that we might not be proud of, but we explore that side of us and bring it with us. So we integrate our shadow into who we are. That's this Temperance. We alchemize it, we transmute any pain, and we turn it into something that is positive, into something that can have momentum, into who we are and understand to be, so that we can be successful in moving forward. Otherwise, we remain stuck. Otherwise, there is no progress in our life. So in order for us to get moving, to be victorious, to ascend, to accomplish things, and to be the greatest version of ourselves, we take all of us, our pain, our darkness, and we turn it into something workable. We leave none of it behind, but it's how do we take that information? Do we play victim? Do we use distractions and not allow ourselves to transmute it? Do we just revel in it and stay stagnant, or do we take it and feel it and turn it into something that is fuel for forward movement, fuel for happiness, fuel to gain ultimate life potential? Like, not everyone gets to experience a 10 of Cups and a 10 of Pentacles. This is the ultimate lifestyle here for you. It's not what someone else paints as the ultimate happiness of whatever this is. This is for you. Whatever you envision as the ultimate happiness, it's there for you. This is potential that's untapped right now by your limiting thoughts, that maybe you're not deserving in some way, or that you're incapable of transmuting pains and shadows into fuel to move forward. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles, manifesting a new beginning in something that is grounded, in something that will flourish into something. It's not pie in the sky. It's not a fantasy. It's not an illusion. It's not an idea of something. It is actual here in the real world, planting a seed for our future, so we can go from an Ace of Coins, continuously invest in something that will repay to us, to build to a 10 of Pentacles. It isn't floating in the wind. It's not something that is just being, I don't know, turned over in such a way that's burn and turn. It's actually substance. It's actually something that is investable. if that's a word. We invest in something that is worth investing. Because I feel right now you're not investing in something that is worth investing, okay? And I mean, if you are in a relationship here with someone and you're saying, well, this person is worth it, but in this energy, the proof is in the energy of what has this amounted to, because I feel there is a potential here that is just that potential. It is untapped and it can remain that way forever, but there is a future potential for you. So I do feel both sides here, and the message is that there is some work to be done here in the real world that's actually going to be fruitful. But if we continuously distract and engage in things that are burn and turn, that aren't amounting to anything, then we're never going to move towards amounting to something and being victorious. And you might think, well, I don't want, homes and marriage and family and this sort of idea of what everyone else traditionally thinks it is. But like I said, this is your idea of happiness, your idea of your legacy, your idea of emotional contentment, creativity. Whatever your vision is here, it is untapped right now, pile number 2, and you are your person getting in the way of this because you deep down believe some untruth about what you're deserving of. So your actions are sabotaging the real potential here. And it is a painful process, but you're further along than you think. And once you allow yourself to flush all this out, it's gone. You don't have to relive pains and traumas, which are constantly there anyway, and manifest in your life in different ways, unhealthy ways. And it's tenfold. It hurts even more than having to face it head on and transmute it into something that is now dealt with, because it will continuously keep resurfacing in ways here until the universe puts you in a position that will make you have to look at this, and it'll be, like I said, very, very difficult, because everything will be removed except for you having to face whatever this is. And you don't need to be at that point. You could be in a point here to take charge, to already know that there is pain here that you're able to transmute. You're able to integrate this into a vision of something greater, some potential that's greater. But only you can do this. Not run away from it. Not pretend as though it's somewhere else or that it's going to happen somewhere and hang on to a hope of something, but by actually doing it. Okay, pile number 2. I hope this helped you guys. I love you very much. And if you're drawn to another pile, I will see you there. All right, bye-bye. Hello, my gorgeous pile number 3. You picked the chakra wand, absolutely beautiful. And you picked the 5 of Swords, you brave soul. We know 5 of Swords obviously is a challenging card because 5 of Swords is conflict. So if you were drawn to this card, then we will take a look as to what is going on here. I did ask Spirit for, I will put your wand right here. I asked Spirit for revealing to us, what belief do you have or understanding, either consciously or subconsciously, that is limiting you, getting in your way of either ascension, growth, it is holding you back in some way, or maybe a misunderstanding or something that you are aware of, but it is limiting your progression in a current situation, circumstance, because you believe something to be true that isn't necessarily the objective truth. So it could be, again, like I said, about self or a situation, but either way, there is an understanding or a belief that you have that is not necessarily the truth, okay? So I have 2 piles. I have not looked at any of these oracle cards, and one pile is mostly around what you understand to be true in some way, and we might get a glimpse of what is the actual truth somewhere here, or the objective truth. And then pile 2 is more clarity around the subjective truth and some guidance potentially in how we can shift. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have. Please use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear, so that you know indeed that this is your pile. Okay, we have everything will be okay. Beautiful. Number 46 could be significant, or the number 10. Wow, look at that. You picked the 5 of Swords, and the first card you got is everything will be okay. So we have planets here with the sun, beautiful love sun energy, the creation of, the gaining of respect from or for, things brought to life or light. Yeah, sun is all about illumination. Sun is joy. Sun is divine masculine energy, and it is birthing a new creation. So we have houses here with the second house, and the second house, it says your beliefs, what you value, and your resources. Second house is money, work, income, daily routines, your material possessions, your priorities, your habits, your job, your work ethic, all that sort of stuff. We have vanity. And we have location. So these cards might be triggering because there's words on these cards and these oracle cards. So we'll reveal these, and then I'll take these oracle cards and we'll put them in the center of these cards and see what we get. So we have suppress, and we have change. Okay, so maybe not too triggering here, but we have a turtle or a tortoise. I'll show you guys this card actually. And we have a gentleman sitting at a bar, and it looks like he is distracted on his phone or something, but it does look like a bar here. Okay, change, suppress. We have rabbit. And we have puppet master. And we have envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. And we have the sage with the number 34 or the number 7. It says the sage. Look at your situation with the mature, experienced viewpoint of a wise person. Examine assumptions about the aging process and mastery. Okay, I do want to read rabbit here, and then we'll pull a little bit of tarot and we'll get into your readings. So there is no real rhyme or reason to how these cards are laid out. They're not alphabetical, but here we have rabbit. So it says the meaning is fast-paced change. Interesting, change here. Decision making and the need to act. Rabbits are notorious for being skittish. They are hyper vigilant and ready to act at the slightest hint of danger. The arrival of this card means you must embody the quick acting nature of the rabbit now, as things are about to start changing at a fast pace. To pull this card hails the arrival of an opportunity, to be sure, but it is a fleeting one. It is imperative both to recognize this and to act in alignment with yourself. If you hesitate for too long, the moment will pass you by. But if you act too quickly, you may find yourself in over your head. While this is a delicate balance to strike, it is one that can be mastered. If you are someone who struggles with indecision or overanalyzing, the pressure of the moment may cause you to freeze. It may be helpful to step out of the logical and instead tune into your gut instinct. Be ready to take action one way or another, but don't act out of fear. Further reflection. Ideally, the opportunity this card points to is an exciting one. It may even be an unexpected one. Often there is a leap of faith that is required on some level. Trust yourself to roll with the punches and handle whatever is thrown at you, especially if you don't have time to plan everything out. There is plenty of potential present with the rabbit card, as these animals are often associated with fertility. Okay, so your message is coming quite clear. Let's pull tarot to get a little bit more insight for pile 3 and what this could be about, Spirit. What is this belief, understanding of either pile number 3 themselves or a situation that is limiting them? Clear and concise message for pile number 3 for the greatest and highest good, spirits. And thank you so, so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. I will ask the spirits protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. Thank you so much, spirits. I am truly blessed. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Wow. Okay, that's a lot. A lot. But I do feel these coming out. Okay, so 9 of Swords, 4 of Swords, Page of Swords, King of Swords. We'll read these in a bit. 10 of Cups. So, what's going on here? Just give me a second to tap into this energy here. I don't even... Okay, so 10 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, 7 of Cups, 7 of Wands, 6 of Wands, and the Chariot. Okay, it's all kind of very consistent message here with all of this. So, what's going on here? You guys are indecisive and not moving towards something here, because I feel like you are in your head about how you might be perceived, and you're causing conflict. And I don't think you're causing conflict consciously, but I think you're projecting a story or an idea of something that it could be bigger or spookier or more scary than you think. And so you're frozen, I feel here. I feel like you're not allowing yourself to do what you need to do. And so what is this belief you have? I feel like you have a belief here that you look in a certain way, or that you have to do something different. And I can't help but see location. So I don't know, like maybe this would require you to make a change in where you are physically. It does require you to shift out of an existing thing, an existing energy you're in. So it could be a move, like a physical move of a house, a physical move of a job, a physical move of a city, a town, an established place where you are. But if not physically in that way, it would require you to move energies from how you are existing into a new energy that I don't think you feel comfortable in. And I feel you don't feel comfortable in this because you haven't been yet able to experience what this is. So you are fearful of what you might look like in this process, or you might fear fumbling, or that you don't know how to do XYZ. And so you are painting an idea in your mind of something that this thing would require as some big thing you'd have to overcome, or that you'd have to do and be something quite drastic from who and how you are. And I feel you're doing this on purpose in some way. I say on purpose, but it's subconsciously you're doing this, because I think inside there's something else going on here, which hopefully we get more in the other oracle cards. And the something going on here is that you're fearing what you can create. You're fearing something. I say fear because it really is fear of change. It is staying in your comfort zone. It is painting a picture that any change is going to be threatening, and that, because there's two things going on here: how you will look, how you might be inexperienced in some way, how you might not know how to pull something off, and then also letting go of a comfort zone of something that you already know of something that is happening in your world right now. But I feel like what that something is in your world right now is not allowing there to be growth. It is not allowing there to be movement. It is not allowing you to flourish in any which way. And I feel like it is keeping you very slow, sluggish, and you're suppressing a true desire of birthing something that I feel is aliveness, it's joy, it's contentment. So I feel like inside you know intuitively, like there is a part of this change that would require you to be different in some way, or let go of something that you're hanging on to, or that you're suppressing, or that you're not identifying. So I feel like you need to well, you could do what you want, but what I feel is going on here is that you believe something to be true right now about your existing set of circumstances that is not true. So you should be shining the light on everything that's going on around you right now and saying, do I believe this because I'm suppressing what the opposite would mean? Because there's a part of you that wants out. There's a part of you that wants to be understood and seen and explored. And you're suppressing this by hanging on to another value or belief. And I think it is around how you would appear, or it is around what you would need to do to shift in order to make something happen in your life here. And so what you don't really know is that everything would be okay as you shift. In fact, I think things would be much better for you if you trusted and allowed yourself to see the absolute truth, if you didn't suppress what your desire was here. Because I feel like you're making a big assumption as to what this would require out of you. Like this change would require such a huge shift here that you wouldn't be able to handle in some way. And everyone else might be able to do this, or that's for everybody else, but I'm different in some way, or I cannot do this because I have all these other set of circumstances that you're utilizing to help support your now understanding of something that is just supporting your idea, but it's one big projection of protection. And it's not allowing you to shift, and it's causing conflict. It's not allowing there to be movement. And so I feel like you're back to this indecisive. I feel like there is something here you're having to make a decision on. And I feel like you might be so logical about this by saying all of these things are true in my set of circumstances, therefore I'm unable. But there is more to this, because I feel like what you're telling yourself is a big projection of something. That it might be a logical understanding, but sometimes our understanding comes from a place of what we've experienced that isn't necessarily the truth. So we have to challenge what we're thinking to be true, because I feel like what you're passing up on is a 10 of Cups here, okay, which is something worth fighting for. 10 of Cups is emotional ultimate happiness. It's the ideal future here. And I feel like right now you're in a state of anxiety anyway, because I feel like what's going on in your life right now is not very pleasant. It seems lonely. It seems stuck. It seems painful. It seems anxiety ridden. It seems indecisive. It seems like nothing's happening. It seems like you're trying to overcome some sort of pain. It doesn't seem grounded. I also feel there is somebody, okay, and when my email goes off, it usually confirms what I'm about to say. I feel there is somebody here energetically that isn't your energy here with this Queen of Pentacles, Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And I feel like, I don't know, there is because like I said, this could be about self, but also situation. I feel this is two things. This is about self, like how I just read, and then there is a situation here where you're needing to make a decision, and I feel it involves a Queen of Pentacles. And this would require you to change. This would require you to do something different. This would require you to not be so concerned with appearances in some way, because I feel like your perception here is stemmed out of a projection you're putting out there. Because sometimes we experience things and then it becomes a reality, and then we just paint the future experiences with that same reality that we've experienced. But this isn't the case. I feel like what you're painting this thing out, I think, is in a way that this situation actually is not. It's not all these things that you're telling yourself. It's not all these fearful things. So I feel like there is part of ego here with the vanity and the Six of Wands, because obviously when ego is involved, this is when we do projection. When ego is involved, this is when we are fearing making a decision, so we get stuck and indecisive. We know ego is involved when we're not wanting to let go or change or allow things to flow because we're suppressing them. We know ego's involved when we'd rather do something when we have absolute certainty that we're going to look victorious, or that's going to come through victorious, because we don't trust in the universe. Our ego tells us to only trust in the ego, in mind in some way. If it doesn't make sense or it's not logically right, then it can't be right. And so it keeps us stuck in some way. And I feel like your Nine of Swords, Seven of Cups is not a very good place to be, pile number 3, because Seven of Cups is that very wishy-washy energy and not being able to decide wisely, and a lot of anxiety, sleepless nights, stuck in our mind. Sun is also about ego. So I feel like there is ego work, shadow work that needs to be looked at and examine examine assumptions about, well, it says the aging process and mastery. I feel like examine your assumptions about what you've experienced, and know that what you've experienced could be true, but it can also be true that a new experience does not have to reflect the exact same past experience here, because it's something different. Allow that to be something that is okay with you. So I feel like you believe something of a value here, of some way of being that you are, that I think you need to re-examine, that you tell yourself that you are this way. Because you're telling yourself that you are this way because you want to appear this way to others. So you might say, I am, I don't know, XYZ, this person who is like this. And you might have always painted yourself as that type of person. And so now if something comes along here that I feel you want, and you're saying it goes against who I've said I've been, it requires me to change in some way. It requires me to move. It requires me to be in a certain way here. And so we start to paint this big shadow of fear if we were to step out of who we said we've been all along. And people won't understand, and they might think we're, you know, I don't know, but whatever we start to tell ourselves is now the ego thing, like everyone's watching me, or that I'm going to be looking in a certain way, and, you know, all ego-based stuff. So we cause more conflict here. You got Five of Swords twice. So there's a need to move away from this conflict, a need to move away from ego that's restricting, because this is what keeps us in the indecision. This keeps us held back. So let's take a look at the other pile of oracle cards, because there we will find a little bit more of the objective truth and a little bit more clarity to your situation. So we have, don't give up on love heart. What do you desire? Number 20. Don't give up on love heart. Okay. Surrender your addictions. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. Now, I was not seeing that, but for some of you guys, I do feel with this card, this is addictions, okay? This is potentially addicted to drinking, distractions, substances. Anything we're addicted to that is keeping us stuck in some way is what this card is about, okay? The dark. Take a moment to sit under the star-speckled sky, listening to crickets and breathing in the cool air nights. Kindness. You are a humanitarian made of love, and you are able to share that energy with others. Intuition. Each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside and sense moment to moment what's needed. The brawler, lack of empathy and confrontation. 37, fear, or the number 10. Your fears are keeping you from moving forward into the life that you deserve. 59, positive life changes. Positive life changes are ahead if you choose to trust in the process. I love when Spirit confirms a change of heart. Eclipse in Taurus, reevaluation. 26. Or the number 8. 8 is the strength card in the tarot, which is all about facing fear. Heart, heart, heart. So I feel we are dealing with the heart matter and the heart here too. And bring peace to your life and your relationships will flourish. Moon in Libra. 19, or the number 10, love. And we have emergence with the number 25, or the number 7, which is the chariot again, which is movement. The frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds from that place. Because when you're a child, you don't have preconceived experiences that project. And I feel like that shadow card, you were projecting an experience onto an experience here, and I feel it is a love experience. I feel it is a relationship. I feel it is something regarding love, your heart, and I feel like there is positive life changes for you. I feel it's going to break you out of whatever you're stuck on here, because I feel like for some of you guys it could be addictions, lifestyles that are keeping you unhealthy, but I feel like you need to confront this about yourself, and you are running away. You're not facing your fear. You're not confronting what this is. You're not confronting your unhealthy side. You're not allowing yourself to trust that this love, this relationship, this movement in a new you is going to bring you abundance. So you need to reevaluate from the shadow side of yourself. You need to sit with your shadow in the dark here. You need to really allow yourself to feel that side of yourself that's been keeping you stuck, and understand that you've been sort of lying to yourself out of fear of movement, out of fear of how things could be better for you. So big message on not giving up on your own love here and your heart, because I feel like you do deserve happiness, you do deserve love, and maybe you feel like you do not anymore. So Spirit's saying don't give up on this, but you must reevaluate where your position is here. And maybe you made a decision here you're not very proud of, because with a change of heart here, I feel like maybe you had a decision and you didn't choose to move forward, and you chose the unhealthy way, and you chose not to listen to intuition. And whatever this is, I don't think you should feel bad, because I feel like your road to getting there is your road. So whatever you chose is not wrong. Whatever you chose was right for you. But just know that whatever you chose here, reevaluate this and take a look at it. Is it giving up on the love you deserve? Is there still more here for you? Because there is positive life changes for you, but you need to embrace this. It's never too late. So if you made the wrong decision in love, if you made the wrong decision here, wrong, again, just chose something that's not making you happy, now is time for you to choose love. Now is time for you to choose what's going to be healthy. But you got to confront yourself, confront your shadow, instead of running from it, instead of fearing it, instead of telling yourself that other things are what they are. There's a real need here to reevaluate yourself. And with this emergence, I feel like a new you will be born, but it needs to be a new you that isn't tainted by pains from the past, a new you that is innocent, that is open to a new experience here, that isn't fearful, that doesn't think my heart's going to break, or that I'm going to go down the same path here, or that this is going to be some big scary thing. Because I feel like you need to embrace this like a child would, because there is positive changes for you. And I feel like it releases you from some devil energy that's going on in your life right now, that you're clinging on to as this safe place, but it's not healthy. So we have the Two of Cups. Yes, a relationship. Definitely. That's what I was feeling here. We have love, Two of Cups, two people, balance, give and take, sharing love, Eight of Swords. We're limited by our belief, by an understanding we have that doesn't allow us to move forward. We're very stuck by what we tell ourselves, or we understand to be true, but it's not true, and it doesn't allow there to be movement. So we feel very stuck. Strength. This is facing that fear. This is having the courage to look at ourselves and our shadow. This requires us to not have ego get in the way of what needs to be done, and then allow ourselves to move forward in grace, forgiveness, use our willpower to fight any sort of addictions or restrictions we have in the face of fear. Be very honest. High Priestess, intuition coming through again. That's what this card is all about. So I feel like you intuitively already know what is right for you, and you're being given information inside yourself. If you sit and listen to your dark aspects, if you sit and listen to what your intuition is telling you, you'll know what it's telling you, because it is a very solid statement of an understanding and a knowing. It isn't that indecision. It isn't, again, like something that comes with as a question to make confusion. It is something very certain, and it sits within you, very silent. It is not loud like the fear. It is something that tells you, when you still your mind and you really listen, it tells you the answer. So you might be already dreaming of the answer here. I feel like you already know the answer here, but you're listening to fear. You're listening to the louder voice, the indecision. You're letting that guide you. So there's a need to also use your willpower to allow yourself to take steps forward when you need to, and hold back from anything that is taking you in the wrong direction. The Emperor is looking very devilly too, and I do feel devil energy coming from this addictions card, but I feel divine masculine energy here. You need to be empowered, but I also feel the Emperor in the shadow aspect is someone who needs to control things, somebody who could be very controlling, somebody who could be very stubborn, somebody who could be very stuck in their ways. So there's a need to do the right thing. There's a need to empower yourself. There's a need to break any sort of addictions or confined limitations that where we need control and order in some sort of way that's limiting us from finding love. Two of Wands, this is the decision again. And when we see Two of Wands, it's all about choosing the path that our intuition and our life calling, our life purpose is wanting us to do. Because one wand is staying the same old, repeating a cycle. The second wand that we can choose is always a little more difficult, but it's the path of the Dharma. It's the path of what we're meant to do. It's the path that we choose, make a decision to make that change in our life. That's what this card is all about. So I feel there is a choice here to be made, that you maybe you're sitting on longer than need be. And like we read in that book, like at a certain point, I think their opportunity is going to pass you by, or has passed you by. And if this has passed you by, I feel like there's a need to learn from this. There's a need to reevaluate. There's a need to reemerge from maybe a loss of love that you've experienced here. Okay, and then we have the World, and the World is all about a successful conclusion. This is victory, but it is ending a chapter in order to start a new chapter. So you need to put something behind you. And the World is lengthy because it's taken a long time to get to where we are. So I feel like there's a need to understand what is already over in our life so that we can make way for new and close out anything that no longer serves us, habits, things, lifestyles, situations, people, ideas, beliefs. that are now bleeding into your future, that have nothing to do with your future. So there's a need to wrap this cycle up. And maybe you feel like you're already wrapping this up in some way, and that things are changing and shifting for you in some way, but there's a need for you to get empowered. There's a need for you to know that you have the ability to be inspired to roll things out without being fearful of facing them head on, but at the same time not trying to control an outcome. Because there's a fine line with the Strength card between holding back too tightly, holding ourselves back out of fear, and allowing ourselves to move forward. But it takes willpower and control to know how much to let go and how much to, just like that rabbit, right? Do we fully move forward, or do we, do we hold back? Like, when do we hold back? When do we move forward? We need to understand this. The Emperor knows when to do either, and our intuition tells us when to act. But if we're too held back, we don't move. There needs to be balance. There needs to be an equal energy flow here. Okay, and I feel like that's the decision you're needing to make. But I feel you're imbalanced. You're choosing one side too much. And I feel like it's siding with the fear. So this is showing me air energy. Oh, it's showing all 4 elements actually, but I'm focused on air. So you could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, because that is coming through quite strong. And then we have Aries, and we have Pisces, and we have Leo coming through. So I'm going to pull kind of final words here as to something that is going to help you further. So spirits, thank you so much for this message. For pile 3, anything they need to know, anything I missed, something that is going to help them that hasn't been communicated, that they need to understand, that will allow them to the freedom to move forward, to make the changes that are required here. What do they need to know, Spirit? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3, Spirit. Thank you so, so much. All right. We have 6 of Wands. That's the ego card, but I also feel like this is talking about us being concerned with how we might appear, how others might celebrate us or view us in some way. This is the Victory card too, and the World was victory. So I feel like you could be victorious in some way, but I feel like there's a lot of concern, a lot of ego still in play here. So there's a need to check one's ego. Ego card, ego card, ego card. Okay. So how's your ego getting in the way? Because it's causing all sorts of projections. This is the Emperor, and he's wanting to come in reverse, although I'm not reading reverses. You got reversals. You got 2 emperors. You got Tony Montana, okay, from Scarface here. And so the Emperor, like I mentioned, when he's in his shadow attributes, he could be somebody who is very stubborn and not acting like a divine masculine would to make the right decision, using control and power in the positive way, not in a way that is damaging, not in a way that is destructive, not needing control out of fear of losing control, but allows there to be order and control going on around him in a way that allows things to move in the right direction for everyone involved, because the Emperor always does the right thing. So how are you in charge of your own life, or how are you letting your addictions and your circumstances get the better of you? Pile 3, are you taking charge of your life? Are you telling yourself and projecting that any other way wouldn't be right for you out of a fear of maybe not believing in your own power of accomplishing something? 7 of Pentacles. This is investing in the right thing that's going to pay it forward. This is, I feel like, taking care of self, investing in the right things, not putting energy and effort towards things that aren't of value, things that won't reap a reward for us in the future. 7 of Wands. That's fighting for what we believe. And we are on a higher ground to fight for what we believe. We might feel like we can't get what we want in some way, but we absolutely can. And we're in a position of power. We're the Emperor after all. 9 of Wands. Okay, wounded warrior. So I do feel you've been wounded in the past, and this is what's causing those shadows. So you might be guarded, you might be defensive, you might be still not wanting to move, because the Nine of Wands is defensive energy. But there's a need for you to enter into the battlefield in some way, of knowing that you have the power to move things in a direction that you need to without ego, that you can be victorious, that you do have fight in you to overcome something here. Hangman. I need to see things from a different perspective. So we have Aries and Pisces. This is when we get enlightened, because now we see things from the other person's point of view. We now see things completely different. And so I think maybe you're not quite there yet. So Spirit is saying you're projecting fears and you're projecting out of ego. So once you start to see things differently and you start to say, hey, is that me? Is that me doing something out of fear? Is this me not allowing myself to be the Emperor in the light attribute? Am I being the Emperor in the reverse? By being controlling? What's this stemming from? Where are my fears? You know, questioning our actions and really, really seeing things from a different point of view that we might have not have been seeing up until now. This will allow there to be a shift. This will allow you to invest in areas that are going to be fruitful for you. This will allow you to make decisions instead of being indecisive. Will allow there to be balance. But right now you're sitting with a decision, and I feel the decision, you're sitting and humming and hawing and very confused, and this is big time ego and big time not allowing ourselves to just go with the flow of where we're supposed to be, and know that you still have control, you know, of what you need control over. But some things you'll never have control over, and that is fine, because trusting the process is all part of the plan. Okay, so pile number 3, this is quite the reading here for you. Hopefully this was helpful. If you are drawn to another pile, I will see you there. And if not, then I wish you guys the very, very best. I'll see you soon. Bye.